Rachel, this is excellent. Really, really nice job so far. And thank you very much for this detailed written description of your experience with the assignment so far. This is really fantastic. A lot of times we instructors learn just as much about the way you're learning by your writing as we do by the work itself. So I'm always really, really encouraging students to include a nice written read, not only in this class, but in all your classes too. It really helps instructors determine the way you're learning. So this is fantastic. And this all points to the right direction. This all points to the right direction too. This is outstanding. So I'm going to describe what I see. If I miss anything, that might be an indication that that frame might need to be adjusted. But and you've described it too. So I don't think I see any issues at all as far as clarity of each of the individual frames. So let's go ahead and take a look. So guy's going camping. He's alone and he's going into the woods. He's got his backpack on and he's going into an area that's got a bear warning. That's fantastic, right? So I love the bear tracks that are connecting the frames. That's fantastic. I think that's so creative. I love it. Okay, so he's entering the woods. He finds his campsite. He pitches his tent, starts his fire, and then all of a sudden he hears. Now this I think is good because we need to draw a connection between the sound and the rustling in the bushes. And I like this. Those little sound. I'm sorry. These little movement lines here. I like that. I like that. I think this is effective. So all of a sudden he's sitting there. Maybe we can actually even show him on his campfire or something somehow. Or somehow maybe just make sure you use the same colored hat or whatever, just so the viewer knows that is that guy right there. So he hears the rustling in the bushes. He gets a little nervous, right? I think we can combine these two frames. Instead of rustling in the bushes and then him nervous, we can put him right in front of the bushes looking back and hearing the rustling, right? Then again, we want to show him here, maybe this time, this perspective where he's actually looking back into the tree. And that'll be interesting to change the perspectives. I love the change of perspectives of him. You've got a few different ones, and that's excellent. So right now, maybe again, so we show him here. He hears this connected to this, so he hears the rustling. Then this frame, we actually show him turning around, seeing the bear, and kind of like somehow freaking out, right? Then he runs to his tent. He's hiding in his tent as the bear approaches. Again, yeah, as the bear approaches and there's his food and his camp gear, right? We got the idea for him, but we want to show him actually grabbing. Maybe we could have him in this frame here. We see the pot, and we don't really need to feature the pot like this. I think we'll get it if you just show from this frame. This frame will define the previous frame, right? So we want to show him running to the pot to grab the pot, and the bear's still standing there, right? Then he grabs the pot and starts banging it, and the bear takes off, where he can go back and get a good night's sleep, right? So that's how I'm seeing it. I think it's excellent. I love it. It's got a lot of fun qualities, and it's ready to go. So those little comments are my only recommendations. Other than that, I think you're good to go. So all right. So at this point, let me know if you have any questions at all, and I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. But I think you had a couple of questions. I wanted to show the bear progressing into the campsite. First, rustling bushes and picking the. Oh, I wonder if there's a way to show the rustling sound better without words. And again, I just think that connecting this, instead of having this is a separate frame and this is a separate frame, let's connect these into one frame where he's looking. And that way we're making a connection between his fright, his situation, and the rustling that we hear in the bushes. Then we reveal by him looking back that it is indeed a bear. But we want to include him in this frame so there's no confusion, right? I think it's pretty important. I think also it would be interesting and good practice to illustrate him in a different perspective looking back, just with his head looking back, right? Okay, what was the next question? This pot, I wanted to showcase the pot. I have in lay spotlight with the rest of the background. I mean, if you like that, you want to keep it, go ahead. But I think we still do need to make a connection of him getting out of the tent and attempting to grab the pot, then turning it upside down and banging the pot. Let me guys good thing. I also want to add some scenes with the circle to make it clearer. I do. I think this is. I love the fact that you decided not to put this in little squares like a comic strip. I think that this organic flow is much more interesting, and I think it's much more interesting to connect the frames with something interesting, cool, and fun like bear tracks, as opposed to just having one square after the next after the next. Okay, outstanding, Rachel. Thank you very much. Any questions at all? Please let me know.